Welcome to the second Matrix on literature review, and I hope you enjoy this one too. So here I have showcased to you one of the metrics wherein you can see very clearly when you are working with your own thesis statements or hypothesis statements, you can say. Now here in this particular matrix, you can see that there are certain columns and rows that have been formed. For example, here you can see, and this is we are calling it as a synthesis matrix. We will see later on why this is called as synthesis. However, first let us focus on what exactly it is. Now here you would see that on the rows I have written it as main idea A, main idea B, with source number 1, source number 2, source number 3, source number 4. Now what does this mean? It means that sources stands for the authors. So you can have author 1, author 2, author 3, author number 4. The choice is yours what kind of words you're going to use it here. Main idea. Now for example, in this particular thing I'm going to showcase to you certain things and then you'll be able to understand. However, just let us focus on these things. Label the columns across the top of your chart with the author's last name or with the few keywords from the title of the work that you're going to choose. Choice is yours ultimately. Label the sides of the chart with the main ideas that your sources are going to discuss about your topic. As you read each source, make notes in the appropriate column about the information discussed in the work as shown in the following chart. Now let us go ahead and pick up an example to check out more information about it. And here you can see that the topic is women in World War and their reactions towards it. Now here the title of the paper was World War II and its effect on women. That is the paper on which this particular review of literature was taken care of. Now here 4 authors were taken. Number 1, Connelson, Stewart, Bruley and Scott. Now the first point that they wanted to discuss was alteration of women's roles because of the World War II. Now this was the point that we wanted to focus on, and what the authors have said. Now have a look at it. Now how the author has taken care of. Now author here in the sense that the person who did the research. Women accredited the vast program for opening new doors, challenging stereotypes and proving that women were as capable as men. And she has mentioned even the page number. Similarly, for the next point, the page number. The next point, the page number. And the words whatever it was in the quotes. Now remember, here they're just focusing on page numbers. I would suggest don't just stop with the page numbers. You can go ahead, page numbers, paragraph number, sentence in that particular paragraph. Now you should keep the markers ready with different colors. It can be red, green, yellow, blue. You can keep them and indicate what a particular color stands for you, and document even that also. And once you are highlighting those sentences, make it a point why that particular thing has been coming here. Similarly for Stewart, what he has to say for the alteration. Now I'm going to read at least the few points so that you get the flow and understand what exactly is taking place and how this one helps you in your own literature review. First one, I've read it. Let's go for Stewart. WAAC, that is Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, was first chance for women to serve in army, given full army status in 1943 as WAC, page number 28. Okay, now let's go for Bruley, what he has to say. Women given equal opportunity. So here you can see what Connelson has said, what Stewart is telling us, what Bruley, and what Scott has said. Women born in 1920s found new doors open to them where they once would have encountered brick walls, page number 526. So can you see all the 4 talking about women and what alteration the women's role was in the World War II. Similarly, if I go for the next point, that is on hardships and oppositions women faced. Now look again, Connelson. From the outset, male pilots resented women's presence in a traditionally male military setting. Now it's not just the settings. Let us see. Now even if you go ahead, when they were talking about the setting, even the uniforms, how the women bodies were recognized. Now if you deal more into these sectors, you will understand. Or the aviation sector, if you go deep and and see the interviews that were taken with women, or you can say with men, you will see the way they were perceived and the manner in which they were welcomed to do the jobs or the services, and how they were taken care of. Now, those things are the ones that you need to understand, and how these things have been taken up in this particular metric. So you have understood that yes, this is another way in which you can do it. However, for me, it is not just the page number. Remember that we need to focus even on the sentences. I would say page number, paragraph number, line number, and the sentence where it was. All the four things you need to highlight it and understand. Now that's where the richness comes in, and you are able to focus, and you know that what kind of observation you have done in that particular paper once you are taking care. Now, after your chart is complete, okay, notice patterns of information. So you're rich, your mind is capable to understand and see the differences, what, and they are on your tips, that yes, on in so and so paper, the person, the author has said this and this on page number this, paragraph number this, line number this, and this is the sentence number. So all the four things are being documented. Now you may find that your sources at times discuss very similar material, or that they sometimes deal with completely different aspects of your topic. These patterns can be useful in creating a thesis statement. Immediately after this, I'm going to show it to you what a thesis statement is and how to go ahead with further things also, so that you are able to go ahead with the review of literature. So in this, I have showcased to you a matrix wherein you are grilling yourself bit down and digging the graveyard for yourself, wherein you know what kind of a hard work you are doing it. I hope you enjoy this part of the review of literature also, because ultimately it is you who is going to be gained with it. With happy learning, here I end this particular session. Take care. Bye.